What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line in the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we're back today with another episode of the DeAgostini Millennium Falcon from Fanhome. And as we march on into the final little bits of this model, we're going to do something kind of cool today. So, in the last episode, obviously, we did a little bit of a different sort of build in assembling the rear engine cover for the top of the ship. And today, we're going to be building kind of like an important piece. Now, everything kind of winds up being important as we get towards the end of this model, and so I'm going to not try to lean into it too hard. But that being said, however, this is a pretty important piece, as this is part of one of the panels that you're going to be able to pull off and remove. And so we're going to be assembling a bunch of magnets and putting a bunch of greeblies on today for the one of the very important top panels, for the top panel that you may or may not ever remove. Now, I am planning on displaying this model eventually, not initially. Initially, it's going to go onto a wall mount flat against the wall because I don't have much space. But when I do have time, I do want to build a table, a coffee table, and have it displayed down, and possibly have the ability to go ahead and take off the top and display the inside. But, it's kind of rudimentary, and if I really wanted to display it, I would start investing in the mods for it, and I really just don't want to do that because we're getting close to finishing this model. Now, that being said, however, I do want to make sure that we get these pieces assembled correctly, so we're going to go ahead and start with stage 70 today and work on assembling a ton of greeblies, and it's going to be interesting because I thought working on the Perfect Grade Falcon was going to have a lot of greeblies. This one also has a lot of greeblies. All right, so here's stage 70. Let's go ahead and take a look at the magazine real fast. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit. There we go. That's good. There we go. Yeah, let's go ahead and zoom out. Just trying to get the right angle here so you guys can see it a little bit. If you guys do want to read the magazine, I encourage you to go ahead and pause and check out the magazine. But we're talking a little bit about some of the Clone Wars era droids. Wow, literally, oh, literally though, it's just Separatist supply ship, weight these, then right into the parts. As this is a big magazine, there are a lot of stages to build here. So as you can see here, we're going to be rolling through all of these different little bits. See step 27 right there. Step 46. Wow. So 46 steps in stage number 70. So that being said, let's go ahead and get on to building. Go ahead and get back all the way here to the beginning. Yeah, they didn't have much room to put anything in here, did they? So let's go ahead and get out our parts. And this is one of the bigger packages that we've received for this model. And because of the nature of it, it's already started ripping on its own. So let's go ahead and grab out the top center bit here. And there we are. And let's not forget to, oh, well, I would say shout at me in the comments if I haven't zoomed out, but let's go ahead. I'm going to stay zoomed in a little bit. I want you guys to be able to see a little bit what's going on today. Trying out the new camera and all the different little things we can do. And there's some of our sprues have gotten a little beaten up, but that's totally fine. Totally expected and normal. There's that. And then we have some screws. And one of our other pieces of add-on detail here. All right, so that's everything that we have going on inside there. Okay, so first things first, we are going to go through and take this piece and go ahead and plant it on right here. And to do so, got some of my glue here. And it's just over here in a little basin over here to the right. And then I have my little glue tool. And we're just going to go ahead and throw some glue on the posts here and a little bit on the back. And just a little bit, just to make sure it stays down. We don't want to go insane with the amount of glue that we're putting on this thing because it's not really super needed, as this is super glue. So without sticking anything to yourself. There we are. And of course, like the paint we're going to be putting on, later, we will go ahead and mask this off and get this taken care of with our own paint job later on. And there we are. There's our first plant on detail taken care of. Then, using our magazine as a reference, I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out. There we are, just a little bit. Using the magazine as a reference, I am going to go ahead and grab part number 1, which is going to, oh, excuse me. All right, so I went ahead and took a picture of the sprue because I don't want to have to keep going back and forth, or the description of the sprue, so I can just kind of look at a photo and take, basically, use it as my reference point. So we're going to go ahead and grab part number 2, which is going to be, oh my goodness, these parts, oh goodness, okay, that one came out from up that on that corner. There we go. The sprue is orientated this way. No, they put it backwards on the thing. How weird. Okay, so it's backwards on the picture. So we're going to grab this one. This is part number 2. Get it cleaned up as always. For this, I'm using my eraser file. Just a glass file. Use whatever tool you'd like to use. Excellent. Just for me, it's quickest and easiest. Works great. Now we're going to go ahead and match this up over on the other side, right over here. So same principle. Get a little glue on each one of our lugs. And a little bit on the back here. And very carefully, without gluing yourself to your model, get that plugged into place. Hold it for just a quick second to let the glue start bonding. Make sure the lugs are clipped in. And there we go. Excellent. Now we're going to grab number 3, which is going to be right here. Part of it's already come off. Because of course. Okay. Perfect. Now this one is going to fit right on the front up here, just like so. Give it a test fit, make sure everything's looking good. I want to go ahead and take off a little bit more of the edge of that sprue. It's a shame that it decided to come off that way. So I'm going to use my nippers here. There we go. All right. A little bit more satisfied. Not going to be totally happy with that piece, but instead of fighting it, we're just going to go ahead and move on. Get some glue onto our lug hole, or lugs. And then just a big nice patch, or a couple dots, why don't we say. 4 dots. There we go. And go and get that carefully put into place. Make sure the lugs clip down. Hold it down. There we are. All right, we're going to go ahead and grab part number 4. And then this one is going to fit right here. And note that we're going to want to go ahead and, when we glue this, and now this part up here has got a bit of a gap, so we'll see if we need to glue that down and in along, and I'm feeling like we might have to, so that's what we're going to do. We'll see if that's a regret point later on, but that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and some glue onto our lugs. And we're going to get some glue onto this point right up here. And then a little right along here. And if there is a little bit of contact, I just want to pull a couple drops down along here. Okay. There we go. That's put in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push that in and hold for just a minute. All right, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to part number 5, which is just a mirror of this side, and I will be right back. All right, so there's that one put in place. Now we're going to go ahead and grab part number 6 and then 7. So we'll do 6 and then I'll do 7 off camera. So here's 6. And that one is going to fit with the upper edge that has a slope to it, facing up, just like so. It's going to fit in right there. So to do so, simply going to grab my glue and just put a nice little smear on there. Such a gross word, smear. The bagel community is very strange for liking that. That's right, I'm attacking the bagel community. How benign. All right. There's part number 6 put in place. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side with part number 7, and I will be right back. All right, there's part number 7 put into place. Let's go ahead and grab part number 8, which is going to be the first part that fell off over here. And let's see if it needs to get cleaned up. Yeah, just a little bit. Yep, we're good. Nice. Now, this is going to go into, there's a bit of a groove in here. That's going to fit into this slot right here, and we're going to go ahead and test fit it first. It looks like that fits in with this point pointing that way. So I'm just going to get some glue on the lug. And then hit the outside. Grab my tweezers. And slot it in place. There we go. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to go and grab part number 9. Oh, this detail's not on the other side. How interesting. All right, I was like, am I going to be doing the same thing to the other side? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and grab part number 9, and it has this sort of lug on the bottom there. Got it cleaned up. And then this is going to slot into this long hole right here. Let's go ahead and test it out. Fits in just like that. And you can see that the little half moon piece right here is facing towards that way. So we're just going to go ahead and glue that on the lug. And then down along the bottom here. Just get a little bit of glue down around each side just to secure it down. Grab my tweezers. There we go. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and we will be right back. All right, there we are. So that looks. Now we're going to go ahead and grab part number 10, or excuse me, part number 11, excuse me. And we're going to go ahead and put them, I believe, right here. Hold on. Let me get this part off before I start looking ahead and get this cleaned up. So this is going to fit in right here on those 2 lug holes right there. Get some glue on the lug holes, and that's all. Or the lugs. I'm not too worried about anything else. Maybe a little bit on the back here. And get that glued in. And there we are. And part number 12 is the same thing on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. All right, so part number 13 is going to be right here. And, I would say the one thing I would like would be for them to number the parts on the sprues. Obviously, they have to create a die for that, and they're not going to do that. Obviously, that's fine, but I would like to have seen that. That way I don't have to keep referencing back and forth or looking at my phone or what have you. All right. So that has a lug like that, and it's going to fit in right here. So to do so on this, I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue in that lug hole, and I'm going to go ahead and fit it in place. And hold for just a second. And there we go. Excellent. 14 is going to be the same thing on the other side. I will be right back. All right, so there's that. Excellent. Let's go ahead and switch pages. Oh, how cool. We're on part number 28, guys. Actually, moving on to 29. All right, we're going to grab part number 15, which is going to be this cover. All right, and this one is going to fit into this slot right here. And what you're going to note is that these rectangle pieces are going to be down towards the bottom. So in order to do so, what I'm going to do, get some glue into our slot, and it's really just kind of around the edges, so I don't need to go too crazy. And then maybe just a little around the outside, just for sake of holding onto the piece. And there we go. Part number 16 is the same thing on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that, and I will be right back. All right, so there's that one. Let's go ahead and move on to part number 17, which is going to be this one right up here. Here we go, 17 and 18 there. They're kind of running in order. They don't always do that on this model, but at least for this sprue, they did. And then this is going to get put into place right up here in those those two spots right there. So for this, just going to get a spot of glue in each one of the lug holes. Use my tweezers. Oh, or not use my tweezers. Not is better. There we go. There's what that one looks like. Excellent. All right, so part number 18 is going to fit into place right here to here. And let's go ahead and grab that. And with the latter portion of it, which was what I'm going to call it facing back, we're going to go and fit this into place. And so we're just going to go ahead and test fit real fast, make sure we're all good. And to do so, we're just simply going to put a little bit of glue into each one of our lug holes. And using our tweezers, go ahead and put them in place. There we are. And that's what that looks like. Very cool. I like that. All right, so part number 19. We're just rolling around this way. So is it 19 through the end? Okay. I'll probably stop looking at my thing. Part number 19 is going to come off. And that's what that part looks like. That one is going to fit into place. Right here. I was like, wait, that's weird. All right, so that one's going to fit into place right there. So we're just going to go ahead and glue that. And I think I'm going to use glue on the piece itself this time. Get around the lug. Then flat on the back there. Flip that around. Hold it in place for a second. There we go. Now we're going to grab part number 20. If you are building this model, note the part number 20 there has a very strange end to the sprue. Be careful not to cut that end off. It was molded very strangely. All right, now that one is going to fit into this slot, and it is going to hang over slightly, just like so. So to mount that up, I'm just going to simply put glue into its receptacle. Get it installed. There we are. Very cool. I like that. All right, now we're going to grab part number 21, which is going to be this pipe-looking one. Usually can cut these without needing to clean them. We'll see. Nope, need to clean this one just a little here on that end. Being very gentle. There we go. And that is going to fit into place in these two holes here with this end here facing right here. I'm getting a little glue in these holes. And then carefully get it put into place. There we go. Excellent. We got part number 22. Almost done with this sprue. Didn't mean to rhyme that, but hey, look at you. Oh my god. I'd see myself out, but this is my own channel, so sorry, I guess. I make myself laugh, you know, which is the most important thing, I guess. All right, so that's going to fit into place right here in this lug mounting hole. There we go. Use my tweezers. Not put into place. Nope, wrong way, wrong way, wrong way. Into the little receptacle here. There we go. And it actually will only fit one way. It didn't feel right when it was going in there, so it's going to go heading into there. That looks good. And then our last part on this sprue, and I believe the last part of this stage, and there's been a lot, like this is step number 46 right here, 45 and 46. We are putting our last piece into place. This one actually cleaned up really nice. And so that is going to slot into place right here. I had to like look for the little telltale thing. And let's go ahead and get our glue put into place. Okay. And just like so. All right. There we go. There's stage 70. That took me 38 minutes with some futzing around with some stuff, but that took me 38 minutes. It never takes me 38 minutes for a stage. Let's go ahead and move on to stage 71, shall we? All right, here's stage 71. Let's go ahead and take a look at the magazine real fast. All right, zoom in. There we go. If you guys want to once again read, go ahead and pause on each page if you'd like. Talking a little bit about Aquadroids and different, like the assault on Camino, the Battle of Camino, which was a really cool arc in the Clone Wars. And then here we are. Like, there's a lot to this stage. We're going to be doing a lot more Greebly work, and we're going to be basically going through and getting a bunch of magnets put into place. So we have another 19 steps to go through. Let's go ahead and get into the build. And let's go ahead and grab our package. And for that, we actually have a whole panel section, which we haven't seen in a minute, in this form at least. But this one is a special whole panel, and this is going to be the one that's going to lift off. So there is our whole panel that we're going to be using today. Some of the magnet slots in the back here, right there and right there. Here's our Greebly that we're about to use. The lower half of the concussion missile launcher. And we have all of our pins and magnets. All right, let's go ahead and get zoomed out. And let's go ahead and start at step number 1. And we're going to remove part number 1 from the sprue, which is going to be right here. And there's a bit of an angle, so do note that as you're cutting this off the piece. They are sitting at a slight angle. Okay, there's our piece real fast. I'm going to get this cleaned up. All right, so there are 2 different sizes of magnets. There's going to be 2 small magnets inside the package with the pins, and then we have a large amount of these larger magnets. So we're going to start with the smaller pins, or smaller magnets. All right, so very carefully. And all of my little cups are dirty, which I'm really regretting right now. But what we're going to do, take our two little pins, and I'm going to set them off on a soft surface off some of the side here. And each one of these are going to get glued into those two spots. So what I'm going to do for this is I've learned over time, I need to get my basin probably filled up. I used all of that glue. What I found, get a good amount of glue in there. Then simply push the first magnet in, pull the top one off, and get the other magnet put in place. Then, what I like to do is grab a pair of my flat pliers and simply seat them down into place. We want these to be sitting as flat as possible, sitting flush, so that it looks like just like that. Excellent. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our part, and that is going to be right here is where they're wanting us to go. And we're going to grab those two steel pins, and we're going to go ahead and glue them into place. So I got enough glue for this. It says you may not have to glue them. I have found that you need to glue them. All right, and go ahead and push it into place, and then push it all the way down and flush. Grab our other pin. Then make sure it is down and flush. Excellent. That's what that looks like. Then we're going to align this with the magnets. And then make sure that they hold in place. Very cool. All right, that works. And we're going to go ahead and grab part number 2. I didn't take a picture of this. I'm just going to flip back and forth. Part number 2 is going to be this piece right here. And what we're going to do is on this piece that we just created, there's two little lugs on the bottom. Those are going to go into those two lug holes like that. And they are going to fit with this piece hanging over just like that. So get some glue into our lug holes. I really need to get some glue in here, but I think we're still surviving for the moment. I also need to clean up my applicator. And let's go ahead and get our piece put into place. All right, and there is what that looks like. And we're going to go ahead and put this back into place onto its magnets. And there we go. Very cool. Now, we're going to go ahead and assemble the covers. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my screwdriver here. It's pH1's probably a little big. Let's go ahead and grab pH0. We are going to go ahead and grab this cover piece. And we're going to line up these two pieces. Just like so. I see. There we go. Excellent. And with the 4 screws that were provided in the previous issue, let's go ahead and get those out. Let's drop them on the table. Leave the one spare off to the side. Get these put into place. I'm going to remove that piece there because it is a little fragile. We just assembled a piece on there and the glue is still gluing. Glue is still gluing. Setting, curing, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go and get these 4 put in place. All right, our last screw is going into place. And I got to say, it's kind of nice doing a little bit of screwing in on this, as this episode has been nothing but gluing. But there is our whole panel assembled to our piece. Excellent. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to grab one of our large magnets here. There's plenty of them, so let's go ahead and get the package opened. I don't know if we're going to be using all of them today, but it looks like we're going to be using a lot of them. Okay, so we are going to be using 7 magnets here. And we're going to go ahead and put them in. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to go ahead and get them glued into place, and we'll go ahead and review. I'll go and do the first one, I guess. I guess I can show you guys what I'm doing here. A little bit of our glue. The side. And then what we're doing, we're simply just going to put a spot of glue in there. Oh, there's several different magnet sizes here. All right. I was like, wait, hold on. All right, there's more to it. So there are these magnets over here that are larger. I see. Okay. I was like, wait, hold on. What's going on here? And then what we're going to do is grab one of the medium-sized magnets and slot it down into place. Possibly, maybe. Then using those pliers, and what I'm going to do is grab some tape. Where's my electrical tape? Oh, careful, Jordan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some electrical tape and wrap it around each end of these pliers real quick. Well, I had a bit of a struggle with that one, didn't I? I am just going to go ahead and get these all installed real fast. This has been a pain in my butt thus far. I've had to use debonder. Like, it's just been, oh my God. All right. So, I'll be right back. All right. After a bit of a faff, there we are. All 7 of our magnets are put into place. Excellent. That's what that should look like. Now, let's go ahead and grab our concussion missile point, and we're going to go ahead, or what do they call this? The missile mount. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and mount it up to these 4 lugs right here. And to do so, I'm just going to go ahead and put glue in each one of these mounting lugs on the female end. Line it up and press it down into place. Excellent. There we are. There we are to this point. Let's go ahead and finish up this couple of stages. This has been a lot of work, you guys. I'll just say that. This has been a lot of work today. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab part number 3, which is going to be this one right here. Get it off. All right, and that one is going to mount onto the deck plate right there with this pointing that way. So, a little bit of glue and our tweezers. All right, we're going to grab part number 4, which is going to be this piece with the half moon. Now that one is going to get mounted right next to that other piece with this round detail facing this way. There we go. Excellent. I'm going to grab part number 5, which is going to be this one right here. And then that is going to get mounted to this lug right here. So to do so, I'm actually going to glue the piece and any of the surfaces that are going to be touching. Go. There we go. And it fits in under one of the other pieces that we just installed. Very good. 6 is going to go into the same spot on the other side. I will take care of that, and I will be right back. All right, and there we go. Excellent. This one was fitting a little funny, I got to be honest, but it fits. All right, now we're going to grab part number 8. We'll look back at the previous pages here to find out what part number 8 is. Part number 8 is going to be the long one up here on the top. Ah. I was like, wait, hold on. What's going on? All right, so we're going to grab part number 7 before we grab part number 8. Make sure we know which one's which. Part number 7 is going to be this one right here. Okay. Now that is going to fit in with this little mounting lug right here. That is going to fit in just like so right there. Okay. I was like, wait, how does that work? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put part number 8 into place. Just like so, into this receptacle here. And as you can see, it fits across the top here, like so. Then we're going to grab part number 8, which is going to be this one right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab that little lug hole there and get it loosely put into place, the part number 8 in there. And then where we're going to glue this is going to be in that lug mounting hole. So I'm going to glue the lug hole first. Make sure we get plenty of glue in there. Get our part number 8. And get that locked into place. Wow. That was a complicated little section right there. But worth it, and something tells me that is going to be a pain in the butt later on. So we're going to grab part number 10. It's going to be right here. We're going to go ahead and glue 10 securely into place. First fitting it into its mounting lug. And then, using some tweezers, I'm going to find where it touches up on the hull here. And then right below, our magnet is where this is going to touch into place. I'm going to hold that in place for just a moment, and I'll be right back. All right, there we go. We're getting towards the end here, guys. This has been a lot of work. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and put our magneted piece back in place. There we go. Get that clipped in. That's what that looks like. And I got to say, a lot of work getting this done, but it has turned out really, really good. All right. Part number 11 is, well, you might not really recognize at first, but it's going to be this piece right here. And it has a very small little mounting lug on the back there. And that is going to get fit into place right there. So to do so, I'm going to put some glue on the mounting spun. I'm sorry to run out of glue, but we're also running towards the end of this episode, so we're good to go on that front. Now I'm going to grab my tweezers and very carefully get that slotted into place. Be careful with this one, because this one is a funny little piece. Well, unless I'm able to find it here in the next minute or two or after the episode, I think I've encountered my first piece to get lost on this model. Oh, nope, there it is. Ha ha. All right, this is a funny little piece. And not a, oh my God, getting flustered. Not a ha-ha funny, but a funny little piece. It's really difficult to get mounted properly. So I'm going to add a little bit more glue than I probably need. Does that go straight in? And however it sits, I don't care. I just want it to be on there. Yeah, a little funny focus, but there it is. Finally installed. My God, that was a piece to put on. All right. And then we are going to grab our final piece for the day. And my goodness, this has been an hour and 15 minutes worth of recording, which tells me that this is going to be a very long episode. And I appreciate you guys sticking around with me on it, as it seems like we've got a bunch of extra magnets here. All right. My goodness me. All right. So this is going to glue into place into the hole right up here on the top of this piece. And then it's going to glue into the bottom down here, just like so. So in order to fit this into place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some glue into the top lug hole. God, I need to clean this glue base in here, this glue pointer. Takes a little bit of encouragement to get that top one put in place, but it is in there now. There we go. And there it is. My goodness. My goodness, this has been a lot of work, but a ton of surface details have been put in place. We got our magnets put in place. Are we done? No. No, we're not. Because I still need to get our magnets put into place on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our hull frame section. But there is that. And we'll actually be able to see what this looks like fully assembled here in just a moment. Oh, my goodness. What a pain in the butt. Okay. I will be right back with the hull frame, or the hull, and we'll go ahead and get this assembled up. All right. So here's the frame. And I wasn't expecting this because I didn't see the back page of the instructions. So what we need to do is we need to run 4 of these rollers, I guess is what they're calling, into each one of these sockets here. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to go ahead and get these glued into place. But first, well, it's got a big bead of glue on it. Now what we're going to do, see how the first one fits into place. There we are. All right. Go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and take care of these other 6, and I will be right back. All right, and our last one's going down into place. There we go. Very good. Now I'm going to give these a couple minutes to go ahead and cure up, and then we can go ahead and give a test fit and see how today's progress worked with the entire top frame. All right, it's been a couple minutes. Let those cure up, and I got my workspace all cleaned up. Let's go ahead and see how this fits. And I gotta say, it's kind of a cool moment. I kind of prefaced the fact that this was a big episode today, and here is the reason why. We have completed the top assembly of all hull frame sections and all hull panels. There we are. Wow. That clips into place real nice. Yeah. Yeah, the hook's in real nice. Probably need to do a little bit of right up here. Hole probably needs a little bit of encouragement. Kind of stay in place. Don't know how I'll quite pull that off, but we'll see. But there it is. Holy crap, you guys. The hole, the top hole, is complete. Our liftoff section to be able to see into the crew quarters, or the crew area, is complete. This was a lot of work, you guys. This was an hour and 25 minutes almost of recording. It was a lot of work to get these little bit done, but I gotta say, the work was well worth it. So there we are. The top hull is complete. Would you look at that? Holy crap, you guys. Another major milestone hit in this model. So, next episode, we're going to start working on the mandibles and getting the rectenna completed, which is going to be really cool because I just saw the scale of this thing, and it is pretty damn big. So, the mandibles begin next week, and the next phase of this build is going to go ahead and commence as we've completed the top of the model, and we can now start looking at getting the inner parts assembled and look towards getting this model complete. So there it is, my friends. That's what I got for you today, and I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me watching me glue together a model, and I think that's pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. Like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world where we happen to be. And just remember that this is the way.